Hello, everyone. So the World Cup is in full flow, and we are here to talk about it. I hope you guys are watching it as diligently as we are, or maybe not. It doesn't really matter. But first, good news is Jacob is back.
Back.
Finally, right? Disappeared on us for a good long while, but
Yep.
here he is again. But anyway, welcome back, Jacob.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you. World Cup season.
How have you
World
seen it
Cup
so
fever.
far? How's the World Cup so far?
It's been great. It's been great. I think it's the games have been there have been a lot of unexpected results. Let me put it that way. So and that's kind of what we want.
Of
So
course.
yeah.
Is the World Cup and
Early
anything can
days.
happen,
Anything
right?
can happen.
Really.
Anything can
So
happen.
far, there have been 14 games played, and the 15th is being played right now between Saudi and Uruguay. But
Uruguay, yeah.
out of the 14, there are a few notable ones we want to talk about, but we'll go through all of them first. First game was, of course, between Mexico and South Africa.
Yep.
Yeah, Mexico won 2 goals to nil at the Azteca Stadium.
Oh, that's South Africa. Hold it.
Anyway, how do you see that game?
Yeah, it was actually for an opener. It wasn't the best of games, but at least Mexico won, so I'm happy. But I think South Africa was so poor. That was my major takeaway from the game. Like South Africa was really poor. This is not even it was like just on a footballing perspective. They didn't really offer anything. I feel like if Mexico, it's not a true test for what Mexico are, how good
Hmm,
they are. We don't really know yet because for some reason South Africa was maybe they were just happy to be there. So even other teams that are kind of that could be
first time,
categorized as
everything.
happy to be there, they've performed better against better opponents. So I think that was a free hit for Mexico, and they will be happy. Honestly, if my country gets a free hit in the World Cup, we will take it.
Yeah,
So
of
yeah,
course.
congratulations to Mexico though.
Yeah, really. It felt like watching the game. South Africa did not. I think right now they are the underperformance of the World Cup, really,
Yeah,
out of everyone, even
yeah.
the first time World Cup teams and
I
everything.
mean, some teams got slapped 7-1
Yeah,
actually.
but
So
still. No, really.
yeah,
But like it was Curacao against Germany. Germany
yeah,
is going to be the last people Germany beat 7-1 in the World Cup were Brazil.
yeah.
So if Brazil can take 7-1, it doesn't really matter.
All
But
of
like,
Tunisia that got cooked 5-1.
well, that's the thing. That is why they sacked their coach.
They sacked their coach
They signed their coach after the first game.
after that game.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So that is how bad it was for them. Exactly. So that's it. So that was the first game. Second game, of course, South Korea versus Czechia. It was actually a good game. The
Yeah, that
Koreans
was a
played
good game.
very well.
Yeah, the Koreans are, I think, Asian teams in general, like the Koreans, especially Korea and Japan, let me put it that way, just those two guys, they always perform very well until they meet an actually better team. But for the most part, they hold their own weight, and their games are very entertaining. Like they are attacking teams, so they always come with the attacking football, and they did very well. I was very impressed. So
Yeah, because
go Korea!
oh, obviously we're not going to talk about every single game. So I'm just going to say that. Do you have a favorite game that has been played so far?
Yeah, my favorite game would be the
Netherlands.
Japan Netherlands game. Yeah, that was funny enough. The first half was boring. Like I wouldn't say too boring, but it was just Japan did not do anything. They were just defending and defending and defending, and until Van Dijk scored.
Yep.
The moment Van Dijk scored, they didn't have a choice. They had to come out, and the game was so funny because
Yeah, bro.
eventually they scored the last goal from a set piece.
Yes.
Unlike what the commentator was saying, like, oh, blah, blah, why are you holding? They are so short. But I was like, keep quiet, man.
You know,
It was a very good game.
it was. Talking about the commentators, I just wanted to say sometimes watching the games is a little hard to take some of the things they say seriously. I have to really say this. The commentators have done their research, right? Most of the things they talk about, they really know what they are talking about, and it
Hmm.
is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes the comments they make before Australia played, after US beat Paraguay and Australia went to play. I didn't watch that game, but
Yeah.
one of the pundits, he actually does CBS thing. He was like, Australia, they're a terrible team. Who is their best player? Irunkunda. Who is that player? A player with that. It turns out he was the first person who scored. He was the very person who scored the goal. When we watching the Japan Netherlands game,
Hmm.
right after they said, well, what do the Japanese think they're doing? Do they think they're any taller than they are? And
Yeah.
they scored
And they
a
scored
second later from a set piece.
from a set piece.
The thing about football is you can't always predict whatever is going to happen. If it
Yeah.
was that, there was no need to watch it, really,
Hmm.
because then you know what's going to happen. You leave room for these surprises. Nobody knew Spain were going to draw against Cape Verde. Nobody
Nobody.
knew Japan were going to score from a set piece. But you don't just say it out loud like you know what's going to happen. you leave room for surprises in football. That's all I'm going to say. It's just sometimes the I don't know the things they say with chest as if they are facts, but they are just your own assertions, right? Just keep them as they are, and that's all I'm going to say
Yeah,
about that.
I think it's just sensationalism. Like they are doing that to like stimulate the itchy fans, like the fans that want to hear those kind of sensationalist kind of comments. But the thing is, from professional commentators or pundits, you are not supposed to be hearing those kind of comments. Those kind of comments should come from the fans, banter and all of that. Those are the kind of, if I want to hear those type of comments, I know the kind of places I should go to and expect to hear those comments, not from professional commentaries. I just feel like it's the wrong it's the wrong thing in the wrong place. So it's not professional. Let the teams let the football do the talking, and then you just provide your own unbiased opinion without any form of diluted opinions and how they should do it. Just make a commentary on the game itself. Well, hey, what do I know?
Apart from that, everything is cool. The only thing I'm going to last thing I'm going to say is when fans are watching the game, the story of the game is being told by what the commentators are saying.
Yeah.
That's the story of the game, the story, all the highs and lows, the words the commentators use, they guide how the story goes. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, that's it. Moving on, another team. I think we have to talk a little bit about Brazil. The game against Morocco was really tough.
It
That
was really
game
tough.
was really a tough game. But one thing that has come out of that game is a lot of people talking about the selection, specifically the player up top for Brazil, the one who should be wearing the number 9 jersey.
My boy.
And we've talked about this before this video. You know where my stance is. Igor Thiago playing, being called up, I think, is the right thing to do. It's sad that some players like Joao Pedro missed out,
Mm-hmm.
but I always say it's sad. João Pedro did very well this season, but it would have been terrible if somebody who did what Igor Thiago did, whether he scored as many penalties as he did or not get a call up to the Brazil team. It sort of leaves room for anybody who does something close to that. Richarlison didn't have to do that when he got called 4 years ago, right? And so anybody who does something like what Igor Thiago did deserves to play in the World Cup. That aside, it's up to the coach to do what he can best with what the squad he has, right? And so that is the only thing I would say based on the fact that João Pedro missed out in the Brazil squad.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this already. You know my own opinion. I agree with you. I agree with you, but at the same time also, I do not completely agree in the sense that firstly, congratulations to Igor Thiago. His call up was not undeserved. He played very well and he deserved it. And what I would say is they've called him up, they've picked their team. Whatever comes out of that, they have to live with the decisions that they make because they've made the decisions, and that's fair. However, I think for the team dynamics, beyond just stats and performances and all of those things, for the team dynamics, a player like João Pedro would have been a better fit for the team than Igor Thiago based on playing style. However, both of them deserved to be called up because
Hmm?
they had a very good season. Both of them had a very good season. Actually, I would even argue, based on playing style, Richarlison and antecedents, based on playing style and antecedents, Richarlison is a better fit for Brazil than Igor Thiago. But that's a conversation for another day entirely. Now that they've played with Igor Thiago and they've seen what he brings to the table, I'm sure he has his own strengths and weaknesses. It's like we said, the major problem that is causing the poor performances is the team dynamics, and it is mostly due to the presence of Vini on the left. You cannot take Vini out of the team, unfortunately. So someone has to be the sacrificial lamb, which happens to be Igor Thiago. And honestly, because of that, although João Pedro is primarily a 10, so he might be able to do the job. But honestly, I think a player like Cunha is the best fit. So even though Hendrick is on the team, I would still say starting Cunha in place of Igor Thiago is a better solution, from my own opinion, to the problem of the team based on the dynamics that comes from the press, lopsided press, when Vini is not present, because Vini will always be in the team. You can't take Vini out of the team. I mean, you cannot. So that's my own opinion. They've picked Igor Thiago. Congratulations to him. I'm not arguing with that. They've already chosen their squad. Someone like Neymar is arguable, but I mean Neymar is a cult hero, so he
I
has to be
know.
there. It's kind of difficult also. But what I would say is whatever decision they make, whatever outcome from those decisions, they have to live with the consequences. You lay your bed, you lie
You
with
lying
it.
in.
Yeah, you lie in
I
it.
have a
Lie in it.
question.
Yeah.
So with everything,
Yep.
like all the things that are already in place for the Brazil team, and you were fielding a starting lineup,
Yeah.
would you, let's say for some reason, for some miraculous reason, that all the let's say Brazil allowed 28 players and they have got Richarlison, Joao Pedro as part of the team,
Yeah.
including Igor Thiago and Endrick. Would you rather prefer out of all the four? Actually, you know what? Let me take Richarlison out. I don't think he deserves to be in this conversation.
Okay.
Out of the three of them, Igor Thiago, Endrick, and Richard. Sorry, Igor Thiago, Endrick, sorry,
Yeah, Pedro.
yes, and Joao Pedro. Who would you have playing up front? Let's say if you were
Yeah,
to
Pedro.
rank them,
Easy. I know where you're going. Yeah, Pedro.
you'd rather choose Joao Pedro up front than Endrick. You just said Joao Pedro
Yes.
prefers to, or he's more like a 10 instead of a
Yeah,
9.
yeah. It's actually if we have to go solely by
Yeah, that's why I said
their
9.
first game,
Yes.
solely by their first game that we saw,
Mm-hmm.
not the previous
Oh, okay.
qualifiers and all of that.
Their first
If
game.
we had to go solely by their first game, we saw the problem. What was the problem? The team when the team is pressing, so they were playing. They started in a 4-3-3 kind of, and with Thiago in the middle, Rafinha on the right, Vini on the left. Now they switched to a 4-4-2, and initially the 4-4-2 was supposed to be Vini and Igor Thiago. But there's a problem with that because this guy does not press. And
Vinicius.
it's not a news flash. It's like, oh wow, surprise, surprise, Vini stop. No, we know Vini doesn't press. The team needs to accommodate for the absence of pressing from Vini. And what happens is that because Vini doesn't press, Igor Thiago pulls back to support the team in midfield. So whenever there's a fast break, and Igor Thiago is slow, we know that already. Whenever there's a fast break, there's a problem. Igor Thiago is not there. And the
Mm.
few times they find Igor Thiago, the best he can do is to hold up the ball and lay off to someone else. And who are those someone else? Primarily Vinicius Junior or Rafinha.
Mm.
Because of the absence of Igor Thiago from central, Rafinha needs to cover to make the 4-4-2. So technically, on paper, the 4-4-2 is Vini and Thiago, but on
Mm.
the field, it is Vini and Rafinha.
Vinia.
Now the problem with that is the people that are now in the midfield now becomes this guy Igor Thiago becomes a midfielder now because Rafinha has replaced him. So whoever is in the midfield now shifts to the right. So it becomes a midfield of who are the people that were playing? Let me even check.
Paqueta.
Now it becomes a midfield. It becomes a
Bruno.
midfield of Paqueta,
Bruno.
Gimares, Casemiro, and Igor Thiago. Nobody in that midfield can play wing, both on the left and on the right. That was the problem with the team dynamics. Now,
Mm.
if you replace this guy, Igor Thiago, with Yao Pedro is faster than Igor Thiago, and he can also function as a better number 10, as a facilitator. Because at the end of the day, whatever happened in that first game will still happen again. Rafinha and Vini will still be the ones trying to attack with pace whenever they get the ball. So, except they switch to a possession-based football where they're not counter-attacking. So we can assume that Morocco made them play like that because they saw that. So maybe if they dominate the possession, Igor Thiago might be a better fit. But if they don't, if they still counter attacking, your Pedro is better. And
Oh, Japero is not there. So now, Endrick, what do
yeah,
you say about?
actually, I would prefer Cunha as a false nine than Hendrick. Not because Hendrick is not good. Hendrick is a better finisher, I would say. I mean, based on what we've seen so far, Cunha is also a very good finisher, honestly. So, but I think Cunha is more physical and it can because eventually the work of the nine is going to be a facilitator. It's going to play as their number 10. Whoever comes in as the nine. And I think Cunha can play number 10 better than Hendrick would. I mean, from what we saw, and we've known Cunha long enough. Cunha can do a better job there so that whoever is flanking can always get the ball fed to them. This guy couldn't do it. Because Thiago, all of his passes did not work out. He couldn't do the layoffs. But Cunha, the few times we saw Cunha, he could find his runner conveniently because he has the skill set to do that. Hendrick can do it, but Hendrick is more of a dribbler and a runner with the ball. But you don't need a runner from that position. You need someone that can hold up the play, see his runner, and play them through. I think even better than Yao Pedro, Cunha can do that. So even if Yao Pedro is in the pitch, based on skill set, I think Cunha is the best solution for the number 9. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Well, Brazil, I don't know. Their next match is against Haiti.
It's very unlikely that
Yeah,
Cunha will start at
exactly.
the striker. It's very
Exactly.
unlikely. But based on what we saw, I think the best solution to that problem, if they are going to face a team that will push them back, is to play Cunha as number 9.
I don't think Haiti is going to be that team.
No, I don't think it will
Yeah, I
be that
think
team.
Haiti is going to be a team where they just need to put a lot of like goals, a win at least, and then a lot of goals on the table so they can assure or at least guarantee better fixtures in the round of 32.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Brazil,
Yeah, that was
really.
Brazil, man. Honestly, all of this is Ancelotti's mm, problem to solve. Yeah, you should figure this out.
Right. Would you consider the Turkey Australia or sorry, Australia Turkey game an upset? The Australia win.
A little bit.
I mean, you watched it. You said they
Yeah.
didn't play anything.
No, no, no,
Australia.
no.
You said they
Yeah.
just camped.
Australia just came. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they didn't play anything when they won 2-0. That was their game. They played a lot because that was their game plan. That was their game plan. They kept a clean sheet. Their game plan was to soak in the pressure, eat them on the counter, and score. So they played a lot. I mean, Turkey did majority of the playing, but bro, who cares if you can if you can score? Yeah, if you can score because they were very dominant. Had a million touches in the box, a million XG, blah
Shots.
blah
They were
blah.
getting
Yeah,
frustrated,
yeah,
blasting the ball out.
they couldn't score.
They couldn't
They
score.
couldn't score. So credit to Australia and yeah, a lot of teams you would notice that from what we've seen so far, a lot of teams are happy to sit and just defend for their lives and then wait for the awful counter attacks. And they've been taking the counter attack. So we are going to see this very huge contrast in on playing styles now where a lot of teams, at least especially in the group stage, it is
Mm-hmm.
when we start getting to the knockout stages that we'll start seeing teams going band for band
Mm-hmm.
more often. But for now, we'll see more of teams just sitting back, soaking up the pressure, hitting the counter attack and hoping for the wishful goal. And they've been taking their chances also.
Yeah, they
So yeah,
have. They have. Um, well, a couple more games to talk about. Yesterday, Germany beat Curacao 7-1. Kai Havertz scored 2 goals. I'm
my
sure we're
boy.
happy to see that.
Yeah, I was happy to see him.
Yeah, and of course, the best game so far for me, and I think for Jacob too, the Netherlands Japan, they're 2-2.
Yeah,
I think, like you said, no goal in the first half, but all goals came in the second
the second
half.
half, yeah.
And of course, Man United's Ahmad giving a last minute winner for Ivory Coast against
Hey, you
Ecuador.
know what? Fair play.
What a
Fair play.
goal that
That was a
was.
good goal. That
What
was a
a
good goal.
goal. Guy kept running in. Oh, was it something you said and Ahmad just scored? Was it you who said something? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I was like, where's Ahmad?
where is Ahmad? And it's
Come
like, I'm
outside.
here.
You didn't even know he was on the pitch.
I knew.
I,
I told you. I told you he was. I was like, he is. Oh, wait, did I?
yeah,
I did it.
yeah,
I did it.
yeah.
I
I was like,
remember I had
what are you
booked.
talking about? I was like, you didn't even know it was there. And then
I
I
had.
went to check, saw that he had been on since the 56th minute. And I was like, ooh. And then all of a sudden he pops
Ahmad
out of nowhere and
Scott.
he scores. I was like, oh, whatever, man. But hey, it was a good goal. It was a good goal. It was a good
It
goal.
was a good goal.
Congratulations to Ivory Coast, though.
Yeah,
Actually, Ecuador, they have themselves to blame.
they do.
It's
They
it's
do.
similar to this the game that I think it was the first or second day, Switzerland.
We
Yeah,
jumped that.
with Qatar.
Yes.
They have themselves to blame because they had a million. I saw them; they were losing chance and they were smiling like, "Oh yeah, it's okay. We're 1-0 up. We're gonna be fine. We're just gonna roll it out." And then boom, 9 minutes, Qatar
Qatar.
equalizes. I was so happy because yeah, that's what you get for not taking your chances. And then the same thing also with Ecuador. They kept missing a lot of chances. They kept missing chances, and then uh Cote d'Ivoire grew into the game. They grew into the game, and then they made the subs. They got better,
Mm-hmm.
and Ahmad finished it off. That was a good goal. That was a very good goal. It was also a very difficult goal,
It
actually.
was
It
one
was a very
touch
difficult goal.
left
Yeah.
for bottom corner.
Yep.
You talked about that Switzerland game, and of course, something happened in that
Oh yeah,
Qatar.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
something I don't know. It's bothered me for a long time because in the first few games of the World Cup, they said something that the second referees or the linesmen are going to have these watches that vibrate whenever there is an offside or something. And was it in the Canada Bosnia game? And there was a late call, and
Yeah.
then I remember mentioning like, "Wait, what's going on?"
They kept waiting,
They kept
but it was
waiting.
so obvious.
It was so
Just
obvious.
raise your flag, man.
I'm like, are you waiting for something to tell you? And lo and behold, Qatar plays Switzerland, and obviously there's an offside. And we don't see a slow motion of that.
Up till now,
We're still not seeing it.
nothing. It has been suppressed by the media. Nothing has been said about that goal looks like a definite offside. That goal looks like a definite
It was
because
a pen.
huh?
It was a pen. The offside gave the pen. So the penalty should not have been given for them to even score the goal. And the player should not have gotten the yellow card for that pen because it was an offside, which means that pen should not have even been given. There were so many things that led up to that specific thing.
Yeah,
And the ramifications of this, especially it being a World Cup, they are so huge. There are 2 points in between this. And Mbolo's goal that he scored from that
yeah.
penalty that should not have been given should not have been there. Switzerland should have been playing on 0-0 up until the point Qatar scored.
That would have
Qatar
been
should have
1-0.
had 3 points. They should be leading the group. But because And when you think about it, there was no reason to not check. Because in this game, or in the games you have been seeing, there are so many stoppages. There's a water break, there's a this. Even when there's a corner, they can check it to take the corner away.
Yeah.
So why is it that you couldn't check just the VAR? And you were mentioning it that they could just draw lines.
Yeah, they said they were doing a VAR check. Honestly, that's I mean, it's kind of difficult to start throwing words around like, oh, it's being fixed and all of that. But if this is incompetence, it is gross incompetence because they had multiple opportunities to correct the mistake. So it's either a case of arrogance that oh we didn't make a mistake, or it's just sheer incompetence and ignorance that oh we didn't know we made a mistake because after the goal, after the when the penalty was given, they showed that VAR was checking, and this is just template. If a VAR is to check the incident before a penalty or
Hmm.
a goal, you want to check was there an offside? Because if there's an offside, then you don't have to
Check
worry
the
yourself
penalty.
checking the rest. Just cancel the rest. Every other sequence of play that comes after the offside is ignored. And then they didn't even check it. Like, let's even assume the watch didn't work and all of that. Draw the lines, do the manual offside thing. Just check it. It- I believe it was offside. That's
It
not.
was, no. The thing is, it was. We all see it. You watch it. Zlatan, Henry, they all watch the football. Anybody who watches football will see it at the first time that it's offside. Right? The thing is, they did not even show the slow motion to show
Yeah,
that, wait, it wasn't offside. They didn't do that graphic they always do
yeah,
for every other thing that it was offside. And the sad thing is, they are not acknowledging that
yeah.
something
It's
like
been
this,
covered up. Like, oh,
yeah,
nothing happened. Let's just
has
move on. Like,
happened.
you didn't
And
see that. Like, bro. And the thing is, at this stage, we should not be having issues with offside again. Assuming it's a handball, there are so many decisions that can be controversial in football. Offside should not be one of them. As at this stage we've gotten to, offside should not be one of them. Did you see the goal? Which goal was that? Where this guy touched the ball, and then it was the Sweden game.
I don't know what I remember.
Yeah, did you watch the
Yeah,
highlights?
I did.
Oh, bro, I think it was the fifth goal. There was a set piece, so the set piece got recycled, and then as it got recycled, so when the initial set piece was played, the guy that scored the goal was offside. It was like miles offside, but the ball touched Isak, and then
Oh yeah, I
it
remember.
started the second phase of
Yes,
play,
and they gave the goal.
and then because it touched Isak, the guy was now onside in that second phase, and the guy scored, and they gave the goal. The check went to VAR. Bro, do you know what they used? So they were like, so because if you watch the replay, it kind of feels like Isak touched the ball, but there was no change in the direction or the in the
No.
direction and the path of the ball. The ball continued in its own trajectory. So you could argue that Isak did not touch the ball. You could also argue that Isak touched the ball. Although on a very close slow motion, it looked like he touched the ball. All of a sudden, there was a heartbeat. I didn't even know they started doing that. So what am I trying to say? Technology has gone so advanced now. Like some of these mistakes, they are so inexcusable. There was a heartbeat on the ball that showed the pulse. So it's like a pressure sensor. So it showed that everything was flat, and then it froze the frame on that when it got to Isak to show,
Okay.
and then you could see that there was a minor pressure spike to show that oh Isak's foot to confirm that
Okay, nice,
Isaac's foot
bro.
touched the ball. No, there's sometimes that we want to argue that did this person touch the ball.
Yeah.
So I feel like
But this is the only
that
way to
was
check.
yeah, that was a very good thing. I was very impressed. I'm like, you know what, this kind of technology is actually very helpful. So you can see that new pieces of technology is being introduced into the game to ensure accuracy. So like they could confirm categorically that player X touched the ball or he didn't touch the ball, and you could just see that tiny out that pressure pause that okay, Isak touched the ball, so it's like a new phase of play. Now this guy is onside and he gave it. So if they have that level of technology, how can they convince me that they didn't know the offside?
I did not
Hey,
know.
bro, come on, man.
Really, it's sad. What this brings is, wow, I didn't know they had that. So
I
that's
didn't even know
actually,
until I saw it yesterday because it was like so. You see the way we were having this conversation. That was the way they were having that conversation during the game, similarly to the way everybody was having the conversation during the Switzerland game, and it was completely ignored. People were having a conversation that oh, did Isak really touch the ball? Did he not? Blah 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 blah, and they just showed that pause. I'm like, okay, fine, settles the argument. Everybody keeps quiet. Like, okay, you know what? Using that, we can truly agree. And you know the funny thing, they showed the first offside. This guy was offside, but with the new information we have now, this is the actual second offside now. The guy is onside. Goal is given.
hey.
I'm like, That is how you stop all this back and forth. Nobody wants to be having football conversations and then we spend all the time arguing on controversial decisions. Was this
Yeah.
one? Everybody wants to actually agree on one thing, but if you do not give us something to agree on, it becomes controversial. Everybody say, "Oh,
Yeah.
it was
It's
offside.
true.
It was not
It's true.
offside. It's a handball." Like,
It's
bro,
true.
come on.
Yeah, the Swiss one, I think it's one of it's a mistake in football that has been solved years ago,
Years
about
ago,
10 years ago. So it's just surprising. My fear with this is I hope it isn't that, because then it would be me calling the officials a little too reliant on technology, which means they are not necessarily good at their jobs. My fear is that they will have to always rely on something beeping, right? Or something telling them that this is that. But you're on the field for a reason. I can stay at home and call an offside if I have a watch telling me something
yeah.
is an offside. But you cannot be on the field and rely on the watch. As we are all watching the game on TV and we can see something, we believe you can see it too. The VR guys are also watching TV and they can see it. They are the ones who actually make these decisions on what happens. So whatever time you can spare to just make the best decisions, it's really the best. I think this is going to be something people will just call back some years later. And, oh, you remember the Swiss Qatar game when the referee did not do this? I still remember when Lampard scored that goal when it
Yeah.
wasn't given 16 years ago in 2010. Because of that, Lampard doesn't have a World Cup goal because we didn't have that technology to determine if that was a goal or not. But the thing is, even at that time, this goal would not have been given. This penalty would not have been given because they would have called an
They will
offside
have called an
16 years
offside.
ago.
They will have called an offside.
So how do we come in 2026 and a mistake that would have not stood years ago is just glossed over? And we all know it's a mistake, and I think you know it was a mistake, so that's why we don't have
I,
any graphic for that.
I think it's incompetence. I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's incompetence.
That's why it's a mistake. Maybe they found out, okay, cool, you should
Do,
have done it, you
do,
didn't
do,
do
do
it,
you know,
time
do
is
you know
over.
the reason why I say it's not a mistake? Because if it's a one if it's a single point of error or it's a single point of failure, you'll be like, okay, someone made a mistake, X, that's fine. But it took about there were like three different checks that could have caught and fixed the error that were ignored. I've forgotten the word I'm trying to say now. But
Glossed over.
yeah, they were ignored and glossed over. So the first thing is there was an offside. The linesman didn't see it. He didn't raise his flag, or maybe he saw it because he didn't raise his flag. Because he didn't raise his flag, the referee ignored it. The VAR now stepped in and they saw it and they ignored it. Then they checked the penalty and they gave the penalty. They didn't even call the ref to come and take a look himself. So that's like one, two, three, four.
That was because they did not even that's why I think they maybe relied too much on the watch that did not even it didn't come to them that there was an
It's not
offside.
possible. That's the part I disagree with because I saw it once on TV, single take.
We all saw
No,
it.
I only saw it once because they didn't show the replay again.
Yeah, we all
I
saw
only
it
saw
one
it once
side.
and I had a feeling this looks offside. So imagine someone that was doing a VR check telling me that they didn't see it. It's not possible, man.
That means they were just incompetent.
It's taking we're having to swallow a lot to assume that they actually genuinely made a mistake. It's so difficult to swallow that was a mistake. That's where I see it. Like it's either someone that doesn't have zero idea of what football is that it's not been classified as a mistake. To me, I just feel like it's incompetence. Maybe I don't know, or maybe they were. I don't want to throw the word fixing around, but it looks more like an intentional error
Yeah, it
than
did.
it
It
looks
did.
like a mistake. So
It
I'll be
did.
like, come on, man.
It
Eh,
did.
the
It
worst you could have done is as the ref. I think you might want to take a look at this. Our offside stuff didn't pick this up,
beep or
but
something.
come and look at this yourself. Let's show you. And then you make your decision. They didn't even do anything. They were just like, ah, move on. Penalty, clear. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
that was
relax.
terrible. That was terrible to see.
Yeah, another thing I would say is I think for this whole beeping thing is I think it's good to have the linesman give it because it helps them to confirm their decisions. But I think what should happen is the linesman should raise their flags whenever they think a play is offside, but the ref should not blow yet. But at least the right, I think the linesmen should make their own. They should make their own mind up as the play is going on. Like just raise your flag, and then if the ref also gets a beep, the ref now confirms to blow. Although I think overall, looking at the other games that they've been playing so far, offside decisions have been faster now.
Yeah,
Generally speaking,
yeah.
they've been faster. But in the rare case where the technology fails, the linesman sees it because some offsides are very clear, like they are clearly offside. You don't need to allow the play continue. I think that was what they brought this beeping
So
for.
don't you think that this particular situation, it's one where they had a lot of trust in this particular machine
I
that
think the technology is too early to be fully trusted at that level.
yeah, but
It-
say they did
yeah,
and
yeah.
the linesmen were just not using their
They
own
were not using their
eyes.
own eyes.
They were not using their
Yes,
eyes.
I think that was what happened.
Yes, because
He
if the
didn't see it.
so the VR guys did not. They were like, well, if the linesman didn't see anything, then there is no point checking the offside.
See, for
We should just go
example,
to the pen.
the linesman made a mistake. I can take that one because it's one take. The game is going on in real time. So maybe he was distracted, blah blah blah, which is kind of unprofessional. But let's give him the benefit of doubt. We are all humans. Anybody can make a mistake. He didn't see it in real time, and once the linesman makes it in real time, it's difficult to roll that back. But the VAR, no, you can see it.
VR, come and answer.
Yeah,
Come and dance.
yeah, the VAR can see it because if I can see it on the TV once, and I'm like, that kind of looks offside.
That's
No,
true. The
there was
VR
there
should
was
be able
one
to
goal
see it.
we were watching yesterday, and we're like, oh, that looks offside, and then they showed the replay,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was
yeah,
onside.
it
Was
was.
it the German game? And we're like, oh, okay, you know what, that at least we had a feeling. You showed us the actual footage. We're like, all right, fine, it's onside. Everybody keeps quiet, but come on, come on, man.
Yeah,
Anyways, let's
I
move on.
get it. I get it.
Let's move on.
It's sad. It's sad that
Yeah,
happened.
I feel like Qatar were robbed.
Yeah, they were
That's what I feel.
robbed. They
I
were
feel
robbed.
like
It's sad. It's so sad.
yeah.
They were robbed.
Sorry, Qatar.
Yeah.
Make it up to you guys.
Anyway, a few other games that went on. USA played Paraguay. USA beat Paraguay
Yeah,
4-1.
yeah. Good game.
Yeah,
Good game.
really.
Like,
Paraguay
really.
played like they had never stepped on the foot. Or USA played like they are dominated by, I don't know, some spirits of World Cup winners. But
You guys have a point to prove.
oh, believe me, it was a beat down. That was Christian Pulisic 46 minutes or 45 minutes played. Some of the best he has ever played, really. And yeah,
So
good.
they should be proud of
Yeah,
themselves.
they should be. It was a really good performance up to the point, or up to, I don't know if any other team, of course, Germany since then has scored 7-1,
Yeah.
Sweden 5-1. But up to that point, they had the best performance in the World Cup at that point. And well, we hope for a lot. That's basically what we want. We want the World Cup to be one of good teams and
Yeah.
people to do well. So yes.
I think looking at the caliber of opponents, the two teams that have performed the most or the best has been Australia and these guys,
Hey, no, not
Sweden.
Australia.
Oh, Australia beats Turkey.
You said they
2-0.
didn't do well.
Yeah, but at least they won. They won. They won. I mean, well, okay, maybe okay.
Australia
If
and
we had
who?
to use perform, it will be Sweden because
Okay.
they beat Tunisia. Tunisia is are not they are not the best of teams, but they're also not a pushover. So yeah, 5-1 against. And the thing is, I feel like something like I feel like a good partnership is building up in the Swedish attack. If the World Cup is very short though, so you will need that partnership to gel as fast as possible for them to go far because their defense still kind of looks shaky. But when the ball gets forward, there's a nice partnership growing between Gyökeres, Isak, and then this guy behind them, the one with the two goals.
Ayari.
Ayari behind them. That partnership is growing. If it can develop and mature up very fast before they leave the group stage, they could go far. I don't know, but they could go far. Because we know for a fact those two guys up front are finishers. We know they are
You
finishers.
got putting some stocks in Jokeres.
Eh,
You don't when you see an Arsenal player anywhere.
no, this has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with us. Arsenal players have been in everything. Why didn't I mention Germany?
You just
Why didn't I mention
you I'm
Germany?
not going to mention Germany later on.
There's nothing much to say about Germany. They beat these guys Curacao. Like, yeah, 7-1 is good because very impressive, but it is Curacao. Calm down. I'm not going to mention too much about
Kai
USA because
Havertz.
Paraguay, like, relax. That Paraguay didn't do too much. But let's see them in other games. But the people I feel like they played a team that actually came out to play, that were trying to play them, and they still dominated and won. Sweden, Tunisia, at the beginning, it was end to end. Anybody could have taken the game, but then over time, Sweden just said, although, like I said, that game was not a 5-1 game. It was more like a 3-1. Tunisia just bottled it with so many unforced errors, or maybe a tiny force, but like, no, they shouldn't have been up to 5. But at the same time, the reason why I'm saying watch out for them is because the way the game played out, it feels like a good partnership is developed. This is the second time Isak and Jokic will play together, by the way. So, but from what I could see, and that was what Graham Potter said, in fairness to Graham Potter, it was like he will play two of them together and see how it goes. If that partnership can develop very well, I think they might go somewhere. So that's my own.
All right, cool. For me, one of my favorite games was actually the one they played today, Spain, Cape Verde. Yeah, really, I liked the game a lot. Not necessarily. I didn't think I was going to be able to watch a game of a defensive side and just really like it. But seeing Spain come in and the level they wanted to play at, and later on decided that, you know what, it's time we take this game seriously. Let's bring on our main attackers. And yes, of course, the man of the match, Vozinha, the Cape Verde keeper, 40 years old. That's some amazing performance. You know, before the game started, he only had 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah. How many does he have
Well,
now?
as before we started, it was like 1.8 million.
I heard it. They were
Yep.
showing. They said it had something like close to 2 million. I'm like,
Oh,
wow,
really? Wow,
that's
that's
impressive.
great.
But before the end of the group, so you're probably getting close to like maybe five,
Yeah,
10 million. I
maybe,
won't be
maybe.
surprised if he has another good game again. Well, that was a very good
Yeah, I
performance.
mean,
That
I
was,
think he's a cold hero now. With
yeah,
this
he
just
is.
game, that's
Yeah,
it, really.
just this game is.
Yeah,
It only takes one game. It
yeah, it
only takes
just
one
takes
game.
one
It
game in
only
the
takes one
World
game.
Cup.
Yeah,
And he's actually the highest rated player so far on Footmob. All the players who have played so far in the World Cup.
really.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Um, yeah, made like 6 saves. That was too many saves. Too many. It was, yeah.
Yeah, and they were really good
They
saves.
were really good
There was one
saves.
save he made that was offside that didn't count.
Yes, that was Kevin. Wait, was Spain? No, that was Kevin De Bruyne who was the one who made the thing there.
Yeah, this same guy.
Belgium,
Yeah, I've forgotten who made the shot, but there was one of the saves he made. This Vozinha, like
it was
before he
offside
made
still.
another one from. I think it was from this guy, the Barcelona guy.
Ferran Torres.
Ferran Torres, yeah, I think it was from Ferran Torres. But it was a very good game. I mean, it's very rare that you find entertaining 0-0s.
Yes,
So this was a
yes,
new, but it was still very nice. And
yes.
actually, I don't think Spain played badly.
No, I didn't.
I don't think Spain should be worried.
No.
I think they'll be fine. They arrested many of their players for, I mean, for good reasons. It's not because they were trying to be proud or I don't think it was that. But these players are just recovering from injuries and yeah. So I think Spain will be fine. But I think Cape Verde should be very proud of themselves. That was a very if that was Nigeria, bro, I'll be proud, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be proud. Yeah, because getting a draw against Spain is very accomplished, irrespective of the country.
Yeah, it
Anybody,
is. It is.
if you get a draw against Spain, that's not a bad result.
You didn't
Because
concede against Spain,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, that was good.
That's what you can say. Yeah, we met Spain and they didn't score against
Yeah,
us.
they didn't score, man.
Yeah, they didn't score. They
Capital
tried. We
pressure.
had Lamine Yamal and
Yeah,
Nico
did
Williams.
everything.
Everybody on the pitch still didn't score.
Low block.
Low block, bro. We don't do. But Lamine saw. Lamine saw that. You saw they had three players defending him, and one time he got the ball and was like, "Yeah, it's time for one of my passes."
Yeah,
Boom!
bro.
Oh my god,
Lamine, man. I saw that pass and I'm like, this guy has so many tricks up his sleeve, and
yeah,
I mean
bro.
we know he has that kind of passing, but where he made it from was very ridiculous. Like the gap between himself and the player was still significant, so the curve needed to be very sharp, and he still did it. I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
yeah, man, Lamine Yamal is that guy. Like he doesn't even need to beat his man.
bro.
If you have that kind of passing, if you have that kind of skill set in your locker, you really don't need to stress trying to beat. Just stay wherever you are, man. Just find your last man. That could have been a goal. It was very close to being a goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So far we've had actually three players who have braces. Top goal scorer. We actually do this chart. So
Oh,
far we have Yasin Ayari with 2 goals, Kai Havertz with 2 goals, and who is the other person? Kai. Who is this Balo guy that I wrote? Balogun.
oh
Folarin
yeah,
Balogun.
Valerie.
Folarin Balogun also a brace, 2 goals
Fair
so
enough.
far in their first games.
Yeah.
The reason because scoring a World Cup goal is too big. Lewandowski has just one World Cup goal. I don't think Mohamed Salah even has one. Ronaldo had like 5 World Cup goals in total. Wait, I'm sorry, Ronaldo. I am sorry. You don't have 5 World Cup goals. Ronaldo has scored at least one goal in every World Cup. 6, 10, 14, 18. He scored 3, and 22. He scored one. So 7 World Cup goals. Right. So it's anyway. A couple of people have one. So my question to you, Jacob, is who do you think is going to be the top goal scorer in this World
This
Cup?
World Cup. Yeah, if I was it feels like saying Mbappe.
It's easier to go in Mbappe.
Yeah, it's easier to go Mbappe because when you start thinking of top goal scorer for the tournament, the
Who's
first
gonna
thing
go
is
far?
you need to think exactly. That's the first elimination metric. Metric. Who goes far? Because the further you go, the further your chances. So I think France will definitely go far. That's even if they don't win it. Because I was looking at the way Spain was playing today, although it's not their full team. But if we are yet to see France play, so let's keep it calm. But I'm like, looks like a team France will beat based on. But one thing you cannot take away from Spain is they can also up their level based on the opposition. They are very good. They are the best possession-based team
in this
in the
tournament.
tournament.
Mm.
So, and any team that can control the ball would always have a stake in the game. So, I don't want to Spain are no pushovers, but I feel like, and the thing is, they don't have a clear set goal scorer, and they don't even score that many goals compared to France, for example, because France are more fast-paced, chaotic, and so they tend to score more goals. I also go Mbappe, but if it's not Mbappe, hmm, I don't know. I feel like going for one of those Swedish boys.
Oh, what about Hurricane?
Yeah, England. Why? I'm sorry, Harry Kane. I'm sorry, but didn't. Yeah, man. I don't know.
I also don't know
I don't
because
know.
I'm hesitating on Hurricane because I think England has a few other
They have a
people.
lot of goal
Yeah,
scorers.
exactly.
So an Hurricane is not the kind of person to occupy the box. So I wouldn't be
Exactly.
surprised if even last scores 4 goals and Hurricane has 1 assist or he has 1 goal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he scored in the first, he scored the opener, and then they took him off in the 75th minute. Oluwatis came in and he scored another one. They win 5-0. So I don't know. I don't think England's game style is completely revolves around Hurricane. So I think, and based on his own playing style, so he withdraws a lot. Yeah, still Mbappe,
Okay, I'll
man.
go for Kai Havertz as my top scorer. And the reason for that is I think Germany, same thing they did for Miroslav Klose. When you look at me, I remember watching Miroslav Klose play. He didn't have a really good club side. He played for Werder Bremen most of the time. And they basically set him up to, you know what, we are going to make you World Cup top scorer. So they just set the ball up for him to what? Tap it in. In the Brazil 7-1, he wasn't even on the pitch. When they saw that it's easy, they brought him on to score 2 goals to actually beat Ronaldo's record.
Yeah.
So I feel Germany, since they have started like this, probably going to just pass the ball to Havertz all the time. Probably make him take penalties too. I don't know. But
Yeah, he's a penalty taker. He's
well,
a penalty taker.
I don't want to
I
say
mean,
Mbappe, but
yeah, he took their penalty in the
yeah,
game.
okay, cool. Then that's
I
good.
think Germany will go far in this
Yeah.
competition, actually, because they've been very consistent now leading up to the World Cup, not just in the World Cup. Like nobody's talking about them. So although we've been kind of trying to throw dark horses around, there are different categories of dark horses in this world because it's a World Cup, man. If you want to say dark horse, like
Mm-hmm.
someone that has the potential to win it,
Mm-hmm.
to me, my primary dark horse is England. But I feel like England is too big to be a traditional dark horse because they are among the favorites technically.
Mm-hmm.
But most people
The
don't
dark
have them.
horse should not be part of the favorite.
But I don't think most people have England as favorites to win it. I think it's mostly
I have him as my favorite.
I think it's France, Argentina, and Spain.
No, no, it's well. To be honest, well,
Yeah,
I don't
come
know
on.
what other things you have been looking at, but France,
Most
Spain.
Argentina.
No, Argentina is not part of my top four.
I mean, that's you.
France,
I'm talking
Spain,
about.
England, Portugal, in that order. France, Spain, England, Portugal, in that order. And I think a lot of people believe that too. I don't think I'm really the only.
So basically, England is not a dark horse because they're among favorites.
No.
Okay, fine.
Any?
Let's take them out.
Would you
To
think
me,
England would have underperformed if they get to only the quarterfinal?
yes.
Exactly. That's why they are not. They are favorites. So that's basically
Most
it.
people don't have them winning it.
Jake, England, Euro finalists, Euro 2024
You know,
finalists,
where is
World Cup,
this?
last World Cup
Where is this place where
semi-finalists.
they show the odds and all of that? Where can you see the odds for like who is going to win? I don't think football has
I don't know.
yeah.
Probably
But anyways,
market or something.
I'm not going to do all of that. But anyways, I think England are like maybe too big to be a dark horse. But in terms of someone that has the potential to actually go all the way and win it, they will be my own. I would say I'll put them as my own favorite. France are the favorites, but my own preferred favorites will be England. And then, but in terms of a dark horse, actual dark horse that is not among the favorites, my dark horse now is Germany. And then so a lot of people have Norway also. I think Norway will be maybe among the most impressive team.
Can you Google the definition for dark horse so we can see this? Because
Actually, yeah, Euclidean dark horse, dark horse. Okay, so a dark horse is a little known person, team, or competitor who unexpectedly achieves success or rises to prominence.
so all the things you are talking about, England, they are not that.
So
Germany is not a dark horse.
Germany's like,
So,
oh,
no, so all you
bro.
can say is let's change it. Be like, who
Okay,
is
so
going to? Who do you think is going
Norway.
to win it? Who do you think can win it? And who is the dark
I
horse?
don't think Germany will win it.
That's
But
fine.
I think they are going to be impressive.
So then they are not a dark horse. They are just you think they are going to impress.
A dark horse does not need to win.
Have you forgotten the unexpected? Do you know how many people are expecting Germany? Do you
Unexpectedly achieve success.
little known? Germany are 3-time
There's
world champions.
no team in the World Cup is little known.
Curacao.
Bro, 48 out of 200 and something countries.
Jake, don't take the argument there. That's not.
Bro.
Listen. Let's keep it grounded. You know what I'm talking about. Stop taking it there. You see what I always say since you came back. The thing says a dark horse is a little known person or team. Germany.
Okay, so who is your dark horse? Wait, who is
Exactly. If you ask me, woman, I'll say Ghana, right? Because
Ghana is little known.
No. Let Jake.
Ghana is little known.
We have to join all of these words together to explain.
Okay, little known.
The video is still being played.
Yeah.
Little known commander who unexpectedly achieves success and rises.
or rises
So
to
first of all, you
prominence.
ask yourself, do you think if when Germany wins this war, it's going to be too unexpected? If you pick the top 10 teams to no, if you pick the top 10 teams to win the World Cup, you know what? Let's actually divide it into two. There are 48 teams.
Yeah.
24. The first 24 teams who you think are going to win. Let's say the dark horses are the other 24 who you don't think are going to win.
Okay.
Then that makes sense.
Okay.
So if you think Germany is not going to be part of the first 24 teams,
that was a fair and categorical conversation. Germany will definitely be among the first 24 teams. Okay, you know what? I agree with you on that one. So,
I'm tired. Oh my god.
So if then everybody needs to everybody will basically default to Norway. Oh, you are going with Ghana. I think from what I've seen so far, I might want to go with Sweden.
No, I'm not going Ghana. I said I could say Ghana. It would be a dark horse.
Yeah, I mean, I think Norway is a good shout, but I'll go with Sweden. I'll go with Sweden. From what I saw yesterday, that is why I'm going with Sweden. If not because of what I saw yesterday, I would have gone with Norway. I mean, yeah, Alan and but from what I saw yesterday, I'll go with Sweden. And the reason is because I'm really looking forward to seeing how that partnership they have among those three players kind of morphs. I want to see how it develops. We already know that Norway has a partnership between Odegaard and Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
But and those guys are well accomplished. They can both of them can dismantle almost any defense. So but yeah, let's see how it goes.
I'm just gonna go with my gut.
Ghana.
The thing is, I'm gonna go with my heart and say Ghana. But the thing is, I don't even
know.
believe. I'm not gonna even say it, so it becomes. I'm just going with Ghana. I'm just because I remember the first time I did a bet, right? I know it's my other phone.
Okay.
I remember the first time I did the bet. I remember so well. And this story is a story I've said so many times. It was a game, Copa America. Was it 2018 Copa America final? Brazil versus Argentina. Obviously, I'm going to support Brazil because they are playing against Argentina. But my mind tells me Argentina is definitely going to win. So what happens? Di Maria scores in the first half. And let me bet against Brazil because Argentina is going to win. So Di Maria scores, and I know I'm winning. But what do? I take out my money and then put it behind Brazil that they are going to win because I am not going to be happy if Argentina win with whatever money I win. So I put it behind Brazil because I believe when they win, I'm going to be happier, right? And of course, it remained 1-0 and they lost. So yeah, I don't go into football logically.
Financial decisions with emotions.
Yes, that's basically that's football for me. I always do it with emotions. So yes, my dark horse is Ghana, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Fine, as long as you're not putting any money behind it.
No. Yeah, it doesn't work for me. Putting money behind football, it doesn't work. Anyway, so is there anything else to talk about?
Yeah. Oh, we're going to do kind of something like a power ranking. Maybe we should wait till the end of the first round.
That would be Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe we should wait till the end of the first round, then we can do something like that. But yeah, for now, that's a World Cup wrap.
Yeah, bro, the World Cup is here. We've seen 14 games so far. 15 games already playing. See how it goes. You see, guys,
Saudi has scored. So
have
it's 1-0. Yeah, it's
1-0 against Uruguay.
Yeah.
Well, take that, Uruguay.
Take
that.
Yeah, they're taking off that Wheezy.
Of course, really after first half.
Yeah, maybe he's injured. He's not.
He's not. He's not. The guy can't even succeed in Saudi Pro League. Imagine.
Oh my boy.
Yeah, that's what you get, Uruguay. Apologies for anybody from Uruguay watching. I know nobody from Uruguay is watching, but I don't care. Take that. Take that for 16 years ago. Take that. Anyway.
Yeah, actually, you guys have a vendetta against Uruguay.
We do.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
You know what? Fair enough. I have nothing against Uruguay, so whatever. I'm neutral. But you have a fair reason to have a beef with them.
Take that. Bro, I don't even want to talk about it. You know, all the time, every time I'm watching all World Cup goes from any year, whenever it gets to that point, I just skip it because I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
All right, cool. We'll see you guys next time.
Enjoy.